Good morning. I'm like I could just be watching the show all day. I'm like I need to be on Stittsville Patrol, and then I got to get a new kitchen.
Right?
I'm just this is yeah. I need to be with Rosie on those tours.
We got you covered on this show. And now we're going to talk real estate because I know a lot of people love to watch us for that too, to find out what's going on in the market. Our market's changing, it seems. What's happening? What happened in the month of August?
So just like the last time that we spoke, we saw a little bit of a slowdown. And what we saw was something that I believe that all realtors and people were expecting. And it has nothing to do with the fact that we were in a bubble. It was the fact that, it was warm outside. And we were also, ready to break out of our homes and enjoy outside. So we definitely saw a slowdown. And normally in August, we definitely do see a slowdown. So it's not something out of the norm. And I don't want people to think that, the bubble is burst and we're going to crash, because we don't see that one way or the other. So if we look at the stats of August, we look at, there was just shy of 1,600. So it's 1,572 residential properties in August compared to August this year compared to August last year, which was over 2,000. It was just shy of 2,006. So that was a decrease of 22%. Now, again, we're not reading too hard into that. What we are just seeing is the fact that we may be seeing a little more of a plateau and a regular market again. We don't see a drop. We just see a leveling out. So if we look at the August sales specifically, 1,175 were in the residential class, which was down from 25% from last year, sorry. And then 397 in the condo, which is only down 9% from August 2020 of last year. So if we look at the average sales overall for the month of August, the 5-year average in total, if we look at a long-term average, we have 1,694 and we sold 1,572. So we're not that far off. And again, all of us were just ready to go out and hang out on patios when we could,
Right.
and hang out with their families when we could. So I'm not reading too much into it. It'll be interesting to see once we get the September stats and see what's going to happen now that the election over and everything else. I know that the market seems to be picking up again.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that maybe people were a little afraid after the spring market where it was so intense and houses were selling for so much over that people who were maybe thinking about getting in just thought, I'm not going anywhere near the housing market right now. Let's just stay put.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. There is a little bit of that headspace where buyers are fed up. They are done with the multiple offers, and they're tired of saying, I want to see this house, and now I've got to compete. We are seeing a turnover, though, with listings that are coming on now. They are not holding back offers, and they're simply asking for a grace period, let's say 24-hour irrevocable. We're not seeing as many multiple offers anymore. So what we talked about, and we've talked about it a couple of times, we need to adjust sellers' headspace and the fact that let's go back to before COVID. Let's go back before we had a lack of supply. There is still a lack of supply, 100%. We are seeing that change. It'll be interesting with October. I can't believe I'm saying October. With October entering into our span now, it'll be interesting to see if we see an increase in the supply, because I am noticing more and more people are jumping on the bandwagon of, I'm going to sell this fall rather than wait for the spring, which is not a bad idea,
All right,
especially right now.
We will continue that conversation because you're right, October is around the corner. We're now into the fall season and the election is now behind us. So how all of that could maybe play into what happens in the next couple of months, we'll get into that conversation after the break. If you call that, does that play into our housing market here?
It actually plays a significant role. For some reason, and remove COVID from it, Normally, an election slows down a market. Add COVID to that, it slows it down even more. So, now that, all the signs should be down legally by now, people are going to move forward with real estate and get on with their lives. We're a government town. We're a high-tech town, and people pay attention to the election in fear that they will lose their jobs or not. And we are back where we were. So let's move forward from this and let's go and do what Ottawa does. And that is being pretty much the most sought after city in the country right now.
Okay, so while some things have changed, a lot has remained the same. And when I mean that, I mean how we prep our home to sell it, right? We don't skimp out on the things that will help us get that top dollar. I'm talking about staging. We've got some before and after photos. I know you're going to run them down for us. Kate, tell us what's going on with this one, Colleen.
Okay, so this lovely seller of ours, as you can see, had some very ornate but very beautiful, expensive furniture. Yet when you take a picture of it, as you can see, your eye doesn't know where to go, right? It looks a little cluttered. It looks a little busy. And when, as you know, most people buy their home online, right? They're not going to go see the home unless it pleases the eye. And so what we see here is something very pretty, but this is what we did with the living room after.
Big difference. It makes it look bigger.
It does make it look bigger. And it's a little more cross geo, like more people would appreciate this home with various, with various styles.
Yes.
They could see, if you like traditional, if you like more contemporary, you can see past what is going on.
I like that. Okay, let's get to another before picture. All right, here's one.
Okay,
Explain to us this one.
So this is simply a kitchen, and people go, what's wrong with this kitchen? And as you can see, and again, this picture, the color's a little off. This is not our picture, by the way. The color's a little off. It's a little fussy on the top of the cabinets. You can see the curtains in the back that are dark. Like everything is a little fussy. It doesn't look wrong, except when you see the next picture, which look at the difference.
What a difference. Yeah.
Right? It's really important to work with a full service brokerage in the fact that we provide this service so that your kitchen, your living room, your home looks better. So what a difference. Right?
Yeah, you can see that you took away the curtains, and so it makes a window look brighter and bigger, and then that greenery that was at the top. But what I think stood out for me the most is this is the before, and the after. The picture gets a bit wider, so you can see that it leads into a dining space.
Yeah, and this home doesn't have any rear neighbors, so they don't need, the curtains were not there for privacy. They were there and you can appreciate the vaulted eating area.
Yeah.
So for the next picture, we're going to go in, again, the same house. It's busy. Yeah. It's warm, but it's busy. It's dark. It's heavy. Her furniture is very expensive, but you can see, Annette, that you can't, your eye doesn't know where to rest.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where, again, the bones are there because I can see that as a realtor, yet not every buyer is going to see past that.
All right.
So for the next picture, it's a different angle. It's a different angle. I appreciate that. Yet look how much brighter it is. It is a beautiful home. This home is actually still for sale in Richmond, and it is just light and bright and airy. That family room is huge, and you couldn't appreciate that with that picture.
Right. Yeah, it really makes a big difference. And just removing those curtains, if there's no neighbors behind, I mean, what a difference that makes. Just that simple move. So, yeah. I mean, those are the kind of things, and I know you'll attest to this, when it's your own home and you're selling it, you love your stuff, right? So it's hard to see past that other people won't love it too. So that's where a realtor and your team of professionals comes in, right? You can see past that and know what everyone else needs to see in order to put a bid on it.
Yeah. So when you're selling your home, it's hard to remove yourself because it's your home. It's where you maybe grew your children, right? I personally, just became an empty nester. I walk around my home, and this is where my kids grew up, and it's hard, and yet you have to remove yourself from it is still an emotional move, yet you have to trust the professionals to make sure that we can get you the most money in your pocket. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's literally, I know you love mom's curtains on your windows because they have a sentimental value, and I agree with that. But we might have to change them to white,
Yeah.
and the buyer, and then you can take your mom's curtains with you, and we just buy inexpensive white curtains from a big box store, and they'll go with the new buyer.
Yeah.
Something as simple as the chandelier. You know that chandeliers and lighting fixtures and everything else, they can be inexpensive. So if you want something, we provide staging, and my stager, Heather Sorgat, is amazing.
Well, we can
and she's
see
part
that.
of our team.
Yeah, we can absolutely see that. We're going to take a quick break, Colleen, but we're going to continue this conversation because it's an important. Let's talk about paint. I have become best friends with painting. I love it. I think it's so great, and it can change a room. Tell me why painting can really make a difference.
It really can, and it's the most inexpensive change that you can make to your house, and sometimes your paint color may not be the best choice for the general public, and so the most inexpensive change you can make is through paint. And when my stager, again, Heather Sorgat is amazing, and she also is not only a stager, but she's a designer, and she can help you improve your home in a certain way that's just from night and day. And so paint can be your best friend no matter what. And especially as we talked about, Annette, when you are selling your home, you have to remove even though it is emotion, you have to remove your emotions from the home so that, if you like a bright pink dining room, that's for you. It may not be for everyone else.
Right.
So a quick 1 hour paint coverage on a dining room may be your best bet, in addition to putting more money in your pocket.
All right. And then, of course, kitchens and bathrooms, still the place to go. Let's take a look at some before and afters. This, I'm assuming, is a before.
This is a before. So I always say, people always ask, and we know our viewers always say, where do I invest in my house? Well, we have Vesta just talking before us. It's always about kitchens and bathrooms, right? It's always about kitchens and bathrooms. So this is a before picture. As you can see, the flooring had been done, but your eye is busy because you've got white fixtures and you've got original wood cabinets, which are fine, except your eye can't rest, right?
Yep.
So with this particular client, and we are selling some, look at the difference.
Wow.
It's just softer.
Yep.
They invested in some inexpensive new appliances. They're not high end, and yet that is just softer on the eye.
Easier.
And it allows for someone, the next buyer, to come into the home and put their own piece of work on it, whether they want to go blue, whether they want to go the classic red for a kitchen, whatever they want to do, and yet they can do it. And the kitchen is now 10 times better.
Yeah,
it also feels bigger.
That can make a big difference, right? Because a lot of people want to move in and they want it turnkey. They do not want to feel like they have to do major renovations, especially in a kitchen. Let's go to another picture where we have a before and an after.
Yeah, so this is the same kitchen. I wanted to show you the different angle because everyone has these old 80s cabinets, which, and I have to say, if you have these 80s cabinets, please don't put granite on them. Please don't. Just don't. Then it's time to change your kitchen, and the big box stores offer really inexpensive opportunities. Look at this kitchen now.
Yeah.
And so what a difference. It's the same kitchen, but again, just adding a coat of white. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. So with a inexpensive appliance, they did not change their counters. They just simply painted, had some professional painter come in, over 3 days. And so if you're looking to move and you don't want to do a kitchen reno, painting your cabinets, if they are in good shape, may be a great opportunity for you.
And
so
always
as you can see, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, and always, if you're unsure, I mean, don't take a guess. If you're unsure if you have to do any of those renovations, that's where a realtor comes in. You got the professional opinion because, like you said, Colleen, right, like you will know what would help sell and move that house for the best top dollar. Thank you so much, as always, Colleen. Great to chat with you. You can get in touch with Colleen. Check out Colleen.